Good morning, everyone. This is Supriya Tiwari from APPA Public School, welcoming you all to today's online session of English classes for grade 7. Today, we are going to discuss about the poem Rebel. The Rebel, written by P.J. Enright, Dennis Joseph Enright. Yes. So, before we start with the poem, so what do you mean by a rebel? Who is a rebel? Usually, it is a person who does not want to follow the rules and the regulations of the society. In fact, in our daily lives, one or the other time, we all are rebels because whenever someone asks us not to do something, we are curious to see what happens if we do that. Yes, it may be at home. For example, your mother may say, don't watch TV too much or don't go out. You want to see what will happen if you go out or if you keep on watching TV. Your mother has prepared some tasty snacks and she has kept it aside and she tells it will be given to you in the evening, and all of a sudden in the afternoon you want to taste that, you want to check out how it is. Yes, so we all are rebels. The rebel is hidden inside us, but it very rarely comes out. We don't want to be different from the society. We all try to follow the rules and regulations set by the society. So here in this poem, DJ Enright has described about an individual. Yes. Now about the poem, Dennis Joseph Enright. He was a poet. He was a British academic. He was born on 11th of March 1920, and he died on 31st of December 2008. He was a British academic. He was a very good poet, novelist, and a critic. He has his work mostly comprises of lots of wide range of essays. He has written reviews for quite a few books, for quite a poems, and he has written children's books and poems. He was awarded with the Queen's Gold Medal for poetry. So here, DJ Enright, he describes about people in this poem. He has taken up the point to describe about people who always do the opposite of what everyone else does and thinks. Yes. So here, born on. Yes. So he has gone on to describe about people who always do the opposite of what everyone is doing and what everyone is thinking. And he says that such people who do the opposite of everyone are called rebels. So in the poem, he has taken up to describe how when the rebel sees people with short hair and or he sees people with long hair. He usually does the opposite. If he sees people with short hair, he wants to follow the long hair. If he sees people with long hair, he gets his hair short. And when everyone else is talking, the rebel keeps silent. And when everyone is silent, he starts creating disturbance. And if people are wearing very nice clothes, looking very beautiful, and he wears quite the opposite. If everyone is wearing the uniform, he doesn't want to wear the uniform. And the poem also takes up the poet also takes up the opportunity to explain about other situations such as loving the pets, praising the nature, hobbies, manners, where the rebel follows quite the opposite of what the whole world is following. So here the is the poem is not based on any political activity or anything, but it is a sketch. It is a character sketch based on a young teenager who is trying to be different, trying to make out his or her own identity by being different from the society. And all the situations related spoken about in the poem give a affirmation to this fact. So let's start with the reading of the poem first. When everybody has a short hair, the rebel lets his hair grow long. When everybody has long hair, the rebel cuts his hair short. When everybody talks during the lesson, the rebel doesn't say a word. When nobody talks during the lesson, the rebel creates a disturbance. When everybody wears a uniform, the rebel dresses in fantastic clothes. When everybody wears a uniform, the rebel dresses in fantastic clothes. When everybody wears fantastic clothes, the rebel dresses soberly. In the company of dog lovers, the rebel expresses a preference for cats. In the company of cat lovers, the rebel puts in a good word for dogs. When everybody is praising the sun, the rebel remarks on the need for rain. When everybody is greeting the rain, the rebel regrets the absence of sun. When everybody goes to the meeting, the rebel stays at home and reads a book. When everybody stays at home and reads a book, the rebel goes to the meeting. When everybody says, yes, please, the rebel says, no, thank you. When everybody says, no, thank you, the rebel says, yes, please. It is very good that we have rebels. You may not find it very good to be one. So, in fact, the poet says, so whatever the society is saying or doing, the rebel always wants to do the opposite. And it is good that we have rebels in our society. But he also says that it is not good to be a rebel all the time. Once, fine, but all the time. So here the poem actually beautifully portrays the nature of a rebel and his or her attitude against the society norms. And the poet has very sensibly and contradictory attitude portrayed the attitude of the rebel. Everybody can't be a rebellion. Yes, everybody we cannot all the time go on rebelling against each other. Once fine, twice fine. But all the time it becomes a problem. So he also explains. He explains that the society needs a rebel in to show that the a person has courage to question. Yes, we do not have the courage to question others all the time. Why should we do this? Why should we follow this rule? But the question is there in our mind. We don't have the courage to openly ask about it. So the poet says that the society needs rebels to question the norms, to question the rules, because a rebellion thinks very differently from others. And also, he adds the fact that the rebels are harmless. They do not want to harm anyone, they just want to be different from everyone, going against the custom and the tradition of the society. And he says that in the society, it is very good to have rebels because there are very few people who have the power, the courage to oppose the decision of the majority. They go on thinking differently, they are very fearlessly, they stand for their choices, which can be very beneficial to everyone. But he also says it is not good for everyone to be a rebel. When we become a rebel, nobody likes us, nobody wants us in their company. So it keeps us apart, it keeps us separate from the people, and it feels as if the people, the whole society, and the rebel are enemies. And he does not, the poet here very beautifully, he has shown everything. He also tells us the attitude and the uh, which is based on self assertion. But he also does not encourage revelation, because he says we don't want to make an enemy of the society. We need to stay in the society and follow the rules and regulations. So he shows that it is a humorous poem. It does not show any hatred or bitterness against the society. And it also shows encouragement to the rebels. But he particularly says, do not be a rebel in your life, because if you love having people around you, you do not want to be alone. And here the poet has used repetition and alliteration. Other than that, there is no poetic devices used like the rhythm or rhyme in the poem. So he has just gone on repeating a few words because it shows the nature of the rebel. So now, when the rebel, coming back to the poem, when everyone has short hair, the rebel lets his hair grow. When everyone has long hair, the rebel cuts his hair short. So here, when a person, the rebel, sees people growing their hair long, then he wants to go against them and gets his hair cut short. If he sees people sporting short hair, he definitely goes against them and lets his hair become long. He grows his hair long. And during the classroom, when the lessons are going on, if everyone is talking, we find that there is one person who is silent. And when the whole classroom is silent during the lesson, we find that one person, the rebel, is creating disturbance. He annoys everyone. He starts disturbing everyone, distracting everyone. Then, when he, when people start, when everyone is wearing the uniform, the rebel wears fantastic clothes. And when everyone wears fantastic clothes, the rebel dresses soberly. So, on various issues, the rebel can be seen contradicting others and doing things that no one would be doing. In fact, the basic theme of this poem is to show that rebels are an important part of our life. They help us to see things in a different way. They always depict things, different perspectives, and hence they bring colors in the society. The poet says that without the rebels, we would be living a very boring life. It is only due to having rebels in the society that we are having beautiful colors and engaging things that can be enjoyed in our life. Now, when we dress up very nicely for the party, or when we try to dress up nicely for going out somewhere, the rebel, he will dress up in a very simple way. And when everyone is dressed up in simple way. He will surely put on all his good clothes, all the fineries, and get dressed up. In the company of dog lovers, the rebel expresses a preferences for cats. In the company of cat lovers, the rebel puts in a good word for dogs. Similarly, there are people who love cats. There are people who love dogs. So when he is in a group of people who love cats, he starts speaking about his love for dogs. And when he comes in the company of people who love dogs, the dog lovers, he starts telling them about cats. He talks about cats. When everyone agrees to all the things, he starts disagreeing. He does not want to agree along with them because the rebels are important in our society because they come up with new ideas which help us look at life very differently. But this thing, this method will not suit everyone. Yes, everyone does not have the courage to become a rebel. When everyone is praising the sun, the rebel remarks on the need for rain. When everybody is greeting the rain, the rebel regrets the absence of the sun. So it happens with everyone. We are having nice sunshine and lot of sunshine, lot of heat. So the rebel says that this is not good, we should have rain. And when rain comes and everyone is busy welcoming the rain, enjoying the rainy season, the rebel starts praising the sun. He says that the rainy season is not good, we should have sunshine. So he is technically the quite opposite of everything. When everyone goes to the meeting, the rebel stays at home and reads a book. When everyone stays at home and reads a book, the rebel goes to the meeting. So when we have going out, everyone is going out to enjoy themselves or there is some important meeting going on, important discussions being held. The rebel does not want to attend it. So what does he do? He stays at home and maybe reads a book or does something. But when everyone wants to stay at home, everyone is at home doing some work, he wants to go out and attend the meeting. When everyone says, yes, please, the rebel says, no, thank you. When everybody says, no, thank you, the rebel says, yes, please. So, whenever we are offered something, when someone gives us something, and we feel it, we refuse it in a polite way, saying, no, thanks. But even though the rebel doesn't want it, he says, yes, thank you. He asks for it. And when everyone is accepting everything by saying, yes, thank you, yes, please, thank you, the rebel goes and does quite the opposite. He says, no, I don't want it. Thank you. I don't need it. So, in fact, here the poet very beautifully and very nicely he has gone to describe how the rebel lives his life contradicting everything in life always. Yes, we have seen when we go to the school, how do we dress up? We usually, the students usually dress up in their school uniforms, and at that time, coming to the school in a school uniform, we find the rebel coming in colorful clothes. And when there is a call, when there is a message given that students are required to come in a colorful dresses, the rebel comes in a uniform. Yes, there is a fancy dress competition. Everyone is participating. The rebel comes in regular clothes. So, a rebel is a person who always disagrees with you. So the question, who is a rebel? What can we say? Who is a rebel? So we say a rebel is a person who always disagrees with you. Yes, he always disagrees with you. And what does he love doing? He loves doing the opposite. He loves doing the opposite of what? Of what everyone loves to do. Yes, who is a rebel? A rebel is a person who always disagrees with you and he loves doing the opposite of what everyone loves to do. So here we do not want everyone. The poet says that being a rebel does not suit everyone. Yes, a rebel needs to have a lot of courage. He loves so a rebel should be fearless. He should have a courage to stand up and uh, speak whenever it is necessary, and he should be able to think differently. Yes, we do not want people who always agree with us. Sometimes if we need to think, we need differently, and we need people who can. So basically, the poet says that a rebel should be fearless, he should have a lot of courage, he should be able to think differently, stand up for their ideas. Whenever someone gives us an idea, we all try to put it down. Yes, if they don't, if we don't like their ideas, we try to put it down. And we usually come across people who always say, okay, fine. If it's not good, if you don't find it good, leave it. But a rebel, he says, what is the matter? So here we also need a person who can question against. We need people who can question us against our opinion. So basically, we all have all these qualities, but these are hidden inside us. We want the poet says that sometimes these qualities need to come out. Yes. So now here in this poem we have learned that the poet Dennis Joseph Enright, born on 11th of March 1920, was a British academic. He was a poet, novelist, a good critic. He has written a lot of reviews. He has written a lot of novels. He has written a lot of children's poems and stories. He was awarded with the Queen's Medal for his children's poetry. He died on 31st of December 2008. And in this poem, he has beautifully sketched out the characteristics of a young teenager. Yes. Now, let me just give you a few words. Yes, a few words which I want you to find out the meaning. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I want you to find out more qualities about the rebel. Yes. I need you to try to question yourself about the qualities of a rebel. And also, I need you to question yourself if you are a rebel in your real life. Do you keep on questioning people about your rights when they say don't do this, don't do that? And whether you find it very nice to be a rebel? Yes, we don't find it comfortable being a rebel because we love the company of people. We love to be in company of people. Then the next is, what do you think would be the problems of being a rebel? What problems may face if we become a rebel? What is the problem? What type of different problems may arise if we are rebels? Yes, in your house, in your daily life, you have some function at home. Your parents have bought you nice dresses, nice jewelries, nice things, and they keep it out, ask you to get ready. All the guests starts arriving, everyone is busy, and suddenly you end up wearing your old clothes. Yes, how do you feel? What is the reaction by the people? What are the problems that you face during this revolution? So just please question yourself. Yes. So today we discussed about DJ Enright. Yes, his works, how he has described a rebel in this poem, what all qualities has he described, and how does he say, what does he say at the end? Is it good? Is it bad? And are rebels good for the society? Hope you enjoyed today's session. We'll all meet in the next session. Till then, have a nice day. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. Thank you.